Hello, folks, and welcome to our channel. So, we're going to be doing a royal read today, and I'm hopefully going to be looking at least three areas. So, we're going to be looking at William's interview, William and Andrew, the bust up, and the Markle family. Okay, so the cards you will see in this session are the After Tarot by Corinne Kenner. You will also more than likely see the Gaia or interesting. Because we keep getting brought back to the natural world with William. Didn't realise when I picked it why. But anyway, the Gaia Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. So let's go for it. So I've only seen a few clips of William's interview, but from what I've seen, and he had an interview with someone called Eugene. Let's have a look. I've got a screenshot of it because you know what I'm like at forgetting names. Um, I did do a screenshot, I hope. Yes, I did. Eugene Levy, where he talked about, in a nutshell, making changes, making big changes, and paraphrasing, in a nutshell, that we should never, or they, the royal children, should never ever have to go through what him and Harry went through with their parents. And for those of you that were around in the time of Charles and Diana, it was horrific. Um, and still is horrific in some cases. I know we had that incident a couple of weeks ago, was it? I lose track of time where Camilla did the dead eye stare at Kate, um, and the energy. Let's have a look. So, William and this interview, show me the energy of Prince William. Show me his energy. Show me the energy of Prince William. Ooh, you ready? Interesting. We've got the Sun card. And we've got a red flag here, two little boys. And I can't hold it up because obviously off YouTube. Um, but the red flag symbolizing the root chakra, childhood chakra. And the two boys here pulling away from each other, but still having a common ground. I would say, as long as both are still living with William and Harry, there is always hope that they could bridge. Because what I'm getting in this reading is they've got more going, but they've got, what was the word I was given then? They've got more going for them than against them. They've got more in common than they realise. And it may be that it can't really happen until Charles has gone and the portal of death comes into the family. Anyway, here he is, Prince William, Prince of Wales. Here he is, the magician. He is bringing it all out in that interview. He's bringing out his cup, his sword, his wand, his pentacle. He's got abundance. He's got his red gown on here. Coming out, having processed childhood trauma, root chakra stuff, and he's coming out with it. Nothing's gonna. There's a song, isn't there? Nothing can stop me now. Is it a Queen song? Let me know in the comments. Don't stop me now. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Um, yes. So it's all the tools on the table. He's feeling for the first time, possibly ever, that he can step into being king. Like I've always said, in the king in the way that he wants to be king. And I've always said, I've been saying it for a long time now, that he will make changes. And you may not agree with all of his changes, but it ain't your monarchy to make changes with. It's going to be William's monarchy. He will be king of that monarchy. So it will be him making those choices and changes going forward. Stepping into his power. Ace of Wands coming in here to make a change because a change does need to be made. What we've got now works in some areas. They do bring a lot into the country. They do a lot of work for charity, but they also take a lot. And there's also all these scandals, marriage scandals, divorce scandals with pedo, you know what files, um, all kinds of things. And it is going to be a new broom sweeps clean. Also hear about bringing in balance. William is aware and feels uncomfortable with the pomp and ceremony. I do also feel with William as well, I've said this as well, that he also just like his standing. There is a part of William that likes being royal. Not knocking him, it's in his blood. He should, because it's his heritage. But there's also a part of him that feels uncomfortable. And I'm seeing him now in the carriages or the Bentley or whatever they use when they're in a car. And he's driving through the streets and he's driving past the homeless. He's driving past people on the breadline. He's driving past people that can barely feed themselves in some cases, and he does feel it. It makes him feel uncomfortable. I also feel as well, that's an itchy nose here, that he has said what he wants to say. He will never, ever, ever be cornered to oversay his truth or overspeak his truth, if that makes sense. He's never going to do a Harry where he just goes la, 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 like, la, 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 like literally with the sound effects. Do you know what I mean? He's mastered something in him that won't allow him to do that. Vision on the future, and he's feeling from an energetic perspective a real incoming flux of energy and a power with that. I'm feeling as well that with William and the timeline he's on, there's something here where he will only become king when he's ready for it. So the more he steps into his power, the more than likely that he is to become king. He's got a big task on his hands. It's overwhelming. He's got to not like literally chop heads off, but I'm being shown the old medieval kings cleared the decks by doing that. Obviously, he's not going to do that and doesn't want to do that, but he has got to chop wood, carry water, and there is a lot of work needed to be done. There's also work needed to be done with people that have lost faith with monarchy. And he wants to make it right for George. He doesn't want to leave George. I mean, we never know what we're going to leave people. We could go tomorrow and we're going to leave a shit show. Who knows? But in his heart of hearts, he doesn't want to leave a shit show for George. He wants to try his best to leave something better. And I think there's also a part of William that does actually, at some point, whether this is now or in the future, want to try and bring about a peace with that rift with Harry. But there's some reluctance here as well. Kearney said Prince Charles, King Charles is still alive. As though somehow it's got to be on William's terms. Or is there stuff that needs to be? There's something, a strange energy I'm picking up here where whilst Charles is alive, both boys kind of need to be separate on an energetic level. Um, Interesting. Queen of Swords, cutting through the bullshit, making big changes. But not coming from a brutal, not doing Henry VIII with all those heads, but coming in and making big changes. Not changes like Andrew would make if he became king. Look, do you know what I mean? Who wants that on the table? I'd literally leave the country. I wouldn't, but I'd want to. Um, he's not going to be a brutal, callous king, but he is going to make changes. And I wonder as well, a few weeks ago we talked about a possible spat between him and Anne. I wonder if that actually has hit a nerve with William. And it's almost like, no, I'm going to step into my power. I'm going to rise up. When someone knocks you down, you show them just what it is to rise. Okay? And doing this for himself, his wife, and the future of whoever is left behind. Ooh, is that a royal flash up coming on the phone? No. We do an Eight of Cups clarifier. Yay. So there's something here between William and Catherine where there was healing needed, relationship healing needed. There's been a separation between them both. And this interview, this new energy coming in, bringing them closer. Having both looked at their shadow, both looked at the fallout, all the stuff that's gone on, the things that have been said, done, not done, not said, etc., having to do with the internal work and cancer, illness, death, etc. The portal that opens helps to bring that in. So this interview brings that to the table. Prince William's interview. The dream, people communicating with dream, his ancient ancestors, his guides, something is revealed, insight and breakthrough. Also, as well, him learning that it's okay to do an interview. I think there's wounding around interviews, as there would be, because both Charles and Diana did very controversial interviews during their marriage. And there's also been Harry's interviews and Fergie's interviews, my God. So he has some wounding around interviews and speaking up, but something in the area shifted. It's like you can do an interview. It doesn't need to be like that. You can find a middle way. Never complain, never explain. That's gone. There's a new era coming in, and this is part of the new era. And he's receiving that wisdom via his dream state. He's on a sacred journey, life cycles, family, and transformation at the bottom of the deck. So we know that William has had many lifetimes under his belt, many ancient lifetimes, lifetimes of different kings, William the Conqueror, Alfred the Great. And I said when I did the Alfred the Great video that Alfred the Great is back in relation to trying to change what he created, what he started to create, because we can see that what started then has not been healthy and has needed to change. So he's back to tweak it, as are many of your ancestors at this time being born back into your family to bring about changes. What does the king, not the royal family, what does the king think of it? A couple of cards for Charles and a couple of cards for Harry. And then we're going to look at this thing with William and Andrew because that's strange. What does Charles think to William's? Oh, William's interview. Oops. Ace of Pentacle. Yeah, he's aware that he's coming to the end of his cycle and he's aware that he has to pass the baton at some point to William. Oh, we've got the death card. We'll leave it there. Death and rebirth, transformation. He is only the intermediary. What's the word people use? Holding space. I'll use the holding space king. He was only ever meant, he as in Charles was only ever meant to be a temporary king. He wasn't never meant to be like Elizabeth II. Um, I don't think you'll ever see a reign as long as that. That was the last reign. As long as that, if that makes sense. The reigns that will come from that will be shorter, and very different. So, King passing the baton, it's going to be his anyway. He needs to step forward, and there's an understanding there as well. Okay, because of yes, endings coming all round. What does Harry think? I know. Where pulling faces. What does Harry think of the interview? What does Harry, Prince Harry? Knight of Wands? Yes. Okay, agreeing that fiery energy. Possibly wanting to put his two penneth in as well. Transformation. There's an energy here of Harry actually on some level going, yeah, it's about time that you actually did start wanting to change and using your voice and speaking up and not just going with the status quo. There's a sadness here that Harry isn't also there on some level, but he is energetically there supporting him. So he's got the backing of Harry and he's got the backing of his dad. And it is time to let go because they're aware, both of them at this stage will be aware of just what is going on with the king and they're aware that it's time to go. Um, I saw something strange on the internet the other day, and it was an interview with. I'm not au fait with all the royal correspondents' names, but it was someone that's quite. I always think that they're quite informed, and they were. I don't know where it came from this video, and I couldn't find it, but it was somebody basically saying everything without saying anything, if that makes sense, and they were saying that Charles is in a position now with Camilla that he can't walk away, and I was like, what? And the he realizes now Charles that, and basically in a nutshell, that Charles wants to leave Camilla, or that they have left each other, but he doesn't want to make it public because of the hoo-ha. That's what, not my words. That was the words on this interview that I saw online the other day. And no, it wasn't AI. It was a genuine interview. Um, let's have a look at the energy between Charles and Camilla at this time in relation to that interview. That because there was so much upset with the divorce of Diana, that Charles feels though he can't go through that again. I mean, come on. Let's have a look at the energy between Charles and Camilla, then we'll move on. Chariot, Hierophant at the bottom. Yeah, it's the Four of Wands, but it's empty. Not present. Now, usually this can be the marriage card. I mean, they're still in the carriage. It's official only. It's all for duty now. It's usually this is the after tarot, so there would be a married couple stood here celebrating. In this one, they're in the carriage. It's all pomp and ceremony. It's all best foot forward energy. The devil, the past, and we'll do one more card, the tower. So it's not healthy, it's not wholesome, it's a troubled. King's troubled, Camilla's troubled. Yes, right. William and Andrew, yeah. I've seen a couple of things about this online where apparently they had a bust up at the Duchess of Kent's funeral. I know, well, I've also seen a story where William has said that about Christmas and not Harry, Andrew not being at the Christmas celebrations this year. So let's have a look at the energy between William and Andrew. Prince William and Andrew. Prince William and Andrew. At the Duchess of Kent's funeral. Queen of Pentacles. Somebody showing their power. Nine of Pentacles at the bottom. God, they dropped my deck then. Death. Two of Pentacles fractured, out of balance. Battles. Yes, so there has been something said or done at this funeral. Whether it's because I've heard a few things. I've heard that there was an actual blast off in the church or chapel, wherever it was. And I've also heard that it was on the steps as well, where Andrew was smiling and William was like, "Stop smiling, you divvy." Do you know what I mean? Covered his face to make it look like he wasn't. There's definitely an energy here of William wanting to make changes, William wanting to show his power, William wanting to bring change, realizing that this situation needs to be dealt with. At loggerheads, the Empress, the Creator, and fighting the demons, slaying the dragon. One more card? Yes, let's do one more card. And it getting passed down to William. The energy is very, very fragmented. It's of, and this stuff is Charles's. I'll go with it. Apparently, it's of Charles's own making. It's because Charles didn't deal with it properly, and has let it run out, and the late Queen as well, and William not wanting to pass this on. But how does William deal with it? Who knows? Right, the Markles. Apparently, Samantha. I think it's Samantha. She has only got one. Oh, she got two. No, she's got one sister, Samantha Markle, has said, I think it's oh, missed my deck up, has said that Thomas is stranded in the Philippines. And Thomas has, they fight amongst themselves that lot, don't they? And Thomas has hit back and said he's not trapped in the Philippines. So what's the energy in this story? What's going on between Thomas and Samantha Markle? Oh, it's a while since we've read on these two characters. What's the energy between Thomas and Samantha Markle? Ooh, the devil nearly flipped out. I know they're not royal, are they? But come on. What's the energy between Thomas and Samantha Markle? Queen of Cups, Four of Swords at the bottom. I'm being shown an energy here of these two having been involved in royal circles in a past life. What was I shown? But the stuff they've got to deal with doesn't require them to be royal anymore. It requires them to still have connections to royal family to deal with it, to release it. But this whole Markle faction, is that the word? It's like a group of souls that have been throughout history in different times, coming in from different angles. And it's almost like the universe has gone, "Ugh, sort it out." Um, they've been involved in a past life with a queen who it's not Anne Boleyn. I don't even think it's connected to Henry VIII. It goes even further back than that. Philippa? Something? Not Philippa Gregory. Maybe Philippa Gregory's written about her, but there's something here about a queen who, I mean, shown her heart, and her heart, something happened to this queen and it was devastating to her heart. Um, the king of the time did something, and the Markles were attached to this, like in some way, shape, or form. And it starts and ends there. Right, let's keep pulling. Wheel of Fortune, it's the same old story. They're a very repetitive family that can't, it's always the same story, same dramas. They struggle to release, they struggle to clear, and it's getting denser and denser and denser for them because of that. Um, and they're getting more and more cut off energetically from people that can alchemize. There's mother wound issues here, Empress, death and rebirth. Two more cards, Queen of Pentacles, money, power. Samantha likes power. She wants to be seen as top dog. Um, but Thomas doesn't like to have power. There's all kinds of crazy dynamics here. Um, yeah, Queen of Swords. Her opinions. I mean, there was a time when people always did Samantha Markle amazing. I've always been wary of Samantha Markle. Don't get triggered, but even more so than Meghan. There's always been something there with Samantha that I've thought is not quite right. And it's position, power, her truth, her knowledge, her wisdom at the cost of anyone else. Seeing opportunities and taking them. They see opportunities and they take them. And they milk things for all they're worth, allegedly, according to the cards, no facts here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this reading. If you got to the end of this video and you would like to leave a comment, please could you leave me a microphone emoji in the comment section, as in William's interview, and the truth that William speaks. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Remember the next group healing. Details below on that one. If you've ever been abused, that's your group healing. Details in the description box beneath this video. Joking. There is a playlist on here called CT's Royal Tarot. If you like these royal videos, you would like to see more, there's also historical royal tarot on here. Thanks for watching. Love to all. Tata bye.